Good day, everyone. Today we will talk about lesson number uh, 4, 1, first lesson in topic 4, which talk about constructing and interpret scatter plot. Scatter plot is a kind of graph which represent the relation between two sets, okay? Maybe set x and set y, so we can write it here, set x and set y, okay? The relation between them may be at x equal 1, maybe y equal 5, so it's here. At x equal 2, maybe equal 3, here, something like this. So we can write the points as you see. This is the argument or the coordinate of the ordered pair between the two sets. This is called scatter plot. When we put the points, this is called scatter plot. Okay? Okay, this is the name. So in our book, if I take example here in the book, as you see, the relation between two sets, any two sets, okay, can be represented in the coordinate by making a scale for x and scale for y. So this row represents x-axis, first row. Second row represents the y-axis. So it's a relation between two sets, time and number of viewers. Okay, the time and number of viewers. As you see, the numbers in x-axis, the least one is 1, and the most is 7. So the numbers lays between 1 and 10 approximately, okay? So we can choose the scale, this scale, 2, 4, 6, 8. And the numbers in the second row, which represents the y-axis, the least one is 25, the most one is 350. Actually, to allow the graph size to be fit to this scale, we have to raise the scale. Okay, we will raise the scale to 100, 200, 300, 400 to cover all the numbers. Okay, then we start put the point. So when we put the point at x equal to y equals 350, so go up, 350 is here, between 340, 400, and so on until we get this graph. This graph cannot be connected. If you want to connect it as a straight line, I can't. Listen, I can't make straight line with all these points. It's very different from each other. It's not making line. Also, it's not making non-linear line. I can't connect them as you see here. It's non-linear actually, but it's not clear. Okay, so it's called scatter plot. To put the points is called scatter plot. Okay, as an example, on the same page. This example, it wants to let us know how to read the data between the two sets from the table. So Luciana collects data about the number of entries and the ages of subscribers who enters the concert giveaway. Okay, the points that represents the data in the fourth column. In the fourth column. Take care. Fourth column. Fourth column. 1, 2, 3. Fourth column is what? X equals 13 and y equal 9 is equation. Okay. Okay. Let's move to another example about the scatter plot. Interpret scatter plot. Okay. I have actually some information about the scatter plot. First one, if the scatter plot the points are very near to each other, like these points, we call it cluster. So cluster is a group of points, okay, that lie close together. Group of points that lie close together. Take care about it because you can be asked in the exam about what clusters is. Okay, and the area which has nothing or no point, it's called gap. Gap is an area of the graph that contains no data. Okay, and if I have number or data very far from the other points, we call it, this data is a set off from the other data points. It's an outlier. So we call it what? Outlier. Very important, three definitions, okay? And the scatter plot shows a positive or negative association. So we have to decide, is this point is positive association when we associate these points in the coordinate? Is this association is positive? How to know if it's positive or negative? Actually, the relation between the two sets, positive or negative, if x increased, you will find y increased too. So each time the number, put the point in x, each time it goes up. So it's y increased. X increased and y increased, it's called positive association. Okay? What about if the opposite? If I have a plane like this one, and the point are like this. So it means it's going down. So when x increased, y what? Decreased, get down. So it's called negative association. So it's negative association and positive association. Okay. So now we have five important definitions. What? The cluster, the gap, and the outlier. And what is the relation between the two sets? It's a positive association or negative association. Positive if x-axis, when x raise, y raise 2. But the negative association when x raise, y get down. Okay? So, or get smaller. When x increased, y decreased. Okay? This is the important information about this lesson. Okay? So, let's take another example. Construct and interpret scatter plot 2. We will make scatter plot, but this time, after we construct it, you will find the point is very far from each other. Okay? So it's not associated. We can call it no association here, because it's no association between the numbers of minutes played and the number of, so there is no relation. What is the meaning here is that the point is not association. It's no relation. I can't decide if the relation is positive or relation is negative. I can't decide. So no relation between the two sets. Okay? And last one, it's very easy to see. Is there any relation? I think while x increase, y also increase. Yes, while x increase, y increase. So it's positive relation, positive association. Okay, so it's positive association. Okay, okay, let's go to another example. So, as a small review about what we study now, we study the clusters. Clusters are some points collected together, close to each other. Okay, it's called cluster. Okay, and it can be increased or decreased. In this case, it's increased because while x increase, y increase too. But here, I have some point, but it seems to be decreased. So it's negative relation, okay? And decrease while x increase, y decreased. And we have a gap and outlier because I have a very far area point, okay? What about this? There is no association. No association at all because I can't decide if it's increased or decreased or something like this. Okay? He asks me then in question number 4, how to put the scale of x and y. If we consider the first row represent x and y represent, the second row represent y, so what about the scale of x? Scale of x, the least one is 5, the most one is 8, so I can call it 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, okay? It can be covered in x-axis. And what about y? Y, the least one is 54, and the most one is 64, so it's between 50 and 70. Can be also written as even numbers, 50, 52, 54, and so on until we reach 70. Okay? So this is the lesson of today, okay? It's easy lesson, and enjoy your time, study well. See you next lesson, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.